So for the third year in a row, Wine Spectator has released its top 10 value wines. The regular Wine Spectator top 10 wines of the year that came out a few months ago had some pretty affordable wines, but these wines here on this list are all under 40 bucks. I just took a quick glance at the list. I've tasted some of the wines. I have some opinions about the other. I'm going to share those with you. I was going to release a high-end Super Tuscan blind tasting video today, but that'll just have to wait till Wednesday or next week. I have no idea how Wine Spectator compiles this list. They have lots of editors, lots of reviewers. They're probably in a room debating, but I don't know how they come down to the top 10, but let's take a look at the list. At number 10, the Tapis Malbec Uco Valley Alta Collection San Pablo Vineyard 2021, 90 points. They gave it 19 bucks. I haven't tasted this particular wine, but it is from High Elevation Vineyards. I don't think you can go wrong with the Argentinian Malbec, and anywhere from the $19 to $25 range. That's tremendous value for money, especially if you like bigger red wines. The higher elevation Malbecs, to me, they can be a little darker in color because they have more intense UV sunlight, but they have this nice minerally note, especially when they're high quality ones. If you've tasted it, let me know. Number 9, great value for money, the Saint Cosme. This is the Côte du Rhône 2022, 21 bucks. Saint Cosme makes a number of great wines from the Southern Rhône. I really like their Gigondas. They make a fantastic Chateauneuf de Pape. The cool thing is these wines are widely distributed. Côte du Rhône from the south of France are made of Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre. They're some of the best value for money red wines in the world. In fact, my most viewed long video is a blind tasting of Côte du Rhône wines. In Europe, you can find a lot of cheap, maybe $3 to $4 Côte du Rhônes. I don't think they're very good at all. In the US, if you're going to see a Côte du Rhône on the shelf, the importer, distributors, the shop owners have probably curated the wines pretty well, and they're worth checking out. This is a little bit more on the expensive side for a Côte du Rhône, well-known producer though, well-distributed, and it's a wine that I highly recommend. Number 8, Volver, the Alicante Tarima Hill Old Vines 2020, 20 bucks, 91 points they gave it. Made from 100% Monostrel, known as Mourvedre. You look at appellations like Alicante, Yecla, and Jumilla, which, by the way, I have an upcoming blind tasting of Jumilla wines. These wines offer tremendous value for money. They're made from old bush vines, so it's old vine material. This is kind of the home of Mourvedre, Monostrel. They're big, fruity wines with a touch of earthiness and rusticity. Very easy for a lot of people to enjoy them. Alicante is a more obscure appellation to find in the US, at least. I always recommend Jumilla wines as a dinner party wine, a barbecue wine. I think they're tremendous value for money. Number 7, a wine I'm very familiar with. This is the Brewer Clifton Diatom Chardonnay Santa Barbara County 2022, 92 points, 23 bucks. What a great value for money. Brewer Clifton makes absurd Chardonnays, Pinot Noirs. This is their stainless steel only version. Their other Brewer Clifton Chardonnays are barrel fermented. I've tasted several vintages of this. It's steely, it's minerally, yet it's not too austere, not lean. Sometimes Chablis, that style of wine, can be a little bit too mineral, too austere for people. I think this wine has enough fruit. It's something that I highly recommend. I think Diatom stands for a Japanese symbol. Got a great minimalist label. If you can find this wine, I think it's well worth seeking out, or anything from Brewer Clifton for that matter. Next up is a wine I highly recommend, the Nicolas Feuillet. This is the Brut Champagne Reserve exclusive non-vintage, 39 bucks, 91 points. Nicolas Feuillet is a cooperative, so it's made up of a bunch of small growers that pool their resources and then produce a wine under one single brand. Nicolas Feuillet is still a very affordable champagne, especially when the prices of champagne just keep rising. Actually, the January issue, I think, of Wine Spectator, the actual paper edition, was talking about champagne just keeps rising in price. This wine always does well in blind tastings. I actually did a video with this where I used the Corvin sparkling wine system to see how well it preserved the champagne. I highly recommend this, especially at that price. Number 5, also wine I highly recommend, Castello di Volpaia Chianti Classico 2021, 92 points, 30 bucks. Chianti Classico Normale. I was just at this estate about a year and a half ago, had dinner with Federica, one of the owners. Castello di Volpaia takes up the whole town of Volpaia in Chianti Classico. It's really an amazing place. If you can go there, there's an Osteria restaurant that's worth checking out. Volpaia's Chianti Classicos have a touch of Merlot in them, so they're a little bit softer, a little rounder, super approachable, young. The wines age pretty well too in the medium term. You're getting a classic producer for 30 bucks in Sangiovese Cassis, a grape that I absolutely love. If you're all about pizza, pastas with tomato sauce, you gotta check out this wine. Number 4, the Four Graces Pinot Noir, Willamette Valley 2021. 92 points, $30 in Oregon. I used to prefer the Pinot Noir from Santa Barbara County more than the Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley in Oregon. My mindset has kind of shifted. I used to think that the under $25 range for Pinot Noir, Willamette Valley absolutely killed it. That's a hard price to reach now because costs keep going up. In fact, I have an upcoming blind tasting video, Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley in the $30 range. I think that's, you got to raise the bar a little bit. I have not tasted this wine, but I see it's a blend from several different AVAs in the Willamette Valley. I have to be honest, entry-level Pinot Noir Willamette Valley, I'm seldom disappointed with. Sometimes I prefer them to the single vineyard or the more reserved bottlings from producers, especially if you like more earthy Pinot Noir. I'm really surprised not to see a Portuguese wine on the list because Portuguese wines offer insane value for money. Number 3, the Raporta Spring Sauvignon Blanc Marlborough Reserve 2022, 93 points, $19 from New Zealand. A Greybaki Sauvignon Blanc made the Wine Spectator normal top 10 list of the year. New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc in this $14 to $25 range, I think you can't go wrong. This is a solid wine. You also see wines in that price point like the Villa Maria. You see Kim Crawford for like $15. Marlborough is a really unique area in the South Island. I've been there before. It's covered in vines. Most of it is Sauvignon Blanc. You really gotta like that explosive, grassy, limey, kiwi type flavor when it comes to Sauvignon Blanc. Don't think mineral driven like those from the Loire. Value for money, $19. New Zealand for years, I don't know if that's still the case, had the highest export price per bottle of wine of any country in the world. A lot of people say, how does that happen? Places like France, Spain, and Italy, most of the wine sold is bulk wine or really inexpensive wine, so that brings the cost per bottle down. In New Zealand, they don't have that bulk wine, they don't have that quantity, so they want to produce quality wines. Sauvignon Blanc dominates the market, but if you're selling it $10 to $15 export price, it's going to drive up the price. Just a little fun fact for you. New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, always pretty defendable. Number 2, the Vasse Felix Cabernet Sauvignon Margaret River Filius 2021, 93 points from Margaret River, Australia, $28. Australian Cabernet is great value for money. It's usually softer, the tannins are ripe, but you get those nice fruit flavors. I just wish they were more readily available. This is a very nice producer. There are a number of excellent producers in Margaret River. It's just a hard time to find them. I remember, I think Xenia, if that's the producer, made a really nice Cabernet that was like a $20 Cabernet. Also some great ones if you go over the other side of Australia from Coonawarra. I think that's an area to look for. And these are really distinctive Cabernets. Approachable, easy to drink, but I know the producer is pretty good. Number 1, La Climat Pinot Noir Sonoma Coast 2021, 91 points, $28. I know a lot of people buy this wine. It's okay. It's not my favorite Pinot Noir on that price point. For me, the alternative is you want to go for Aubin Climat's basic Pinot Noir from Santa Barbara County. That used to be under $20. I think it's under $25 now, so it's in a similar price point. That's worth checking out. If you like La Crema, buy it, but I'm just not the biggest fan. What do you think about the top 10 value wines of 2023 from Wine Spectator? Have you tasted any of these wines? Drop it in the comments below.